Good morning, my dear friend. As the sun rises and casts its gentle light over the world, we are reminded that today is a fresh beginning. The early morning hours are sacred, a time when the world is still and the air is filled with the promise of new opportunities. The quiet beauty of dawn is not just the light breaking through the darkness, but also the hope that awakens in our hearts. This is a moment to breathe deeply, to release the burdens of yesterday, and to open ourselves to what God has in store for us today. In this sacred time, I want to share a story with you. Imagine a person who has spent many nights wrestling with their own fears, struggling through a storm of emotions. Perhaps they have faced loss of a loved one, loss of health, or even the loss of direction in life. The pain is raw, and the weight of it feels unbearable at times. The person wonders why it feels like the heavens are silent, why the answers they so desperately seek seem to elude them. Every prayer feels like it is lost in the air, and each day seems to blend into the next, filled with uncertainty and a sense of helplessness. But in the midst of this darkness, there is a still, small voice that speaks. Trust me. It is a voice that does not promise instant answers, but it offers peace, a peace that surpasses all understanding. It is a voice that gently urges us to let go, to release our tight grip on what we cannot control, and to place our trust in something much bigger than ourselves. And this, my dear friend, is where our journey of faith begins. It begins in the waiting, in the trusting, and in the letting go. Our hearts may ache, our minds may be filled with questions, and our spirits may feel weary. But in this very moment of uncertainty, there is an invitation to enter into a deeper relationship with God, to speak to Him from the depths of our soul, and to allow Him to speak peace to our hearts. The power of faith and prayer is that they are not bound by time or circumstance. Prayer is not just a request for answers, it is a conversation with the Creator of the universe. It is in these moments of raw honesty, when we are vulnerable with God, that His love can heal our deepest wounds. We do not need to have all the answers or the right words. We only need an open heart, a heart willing to listen, to surrender, and to trust. So, as we begin this time together, I invite you to open your heart to God. Let your worries, your doubts, and your fears be laid before Him. This is not just a moment of asking. It is a moment of connecting with the One who knows you fully and loves you deeply. The journey ahead may be long, but with each step of trust, we draw closer to the strength, peace, and grace that only He can provide. Now, let us enter into this sacred time of prayer. Let us begin by placing our hearts before God, trusting that He is with us in every moment. Today, we will embark on a journey of faith, one that leads us from uncertainty to unwavering trust, from fear to peace, and from doubt to hope. As we open our hearts to the Lord, let this prayer be a conversation that transforms our lives. May it remind us of God's faithfulness, His timing, and His perfect plan for our lives. And may we walk in the assurance that no matter what we face, He is always with us, guiding us and loving us. Let us begin this journey together. Dear Heavenly Father, I come before you today with a heart full of raw emotions, seeking your guidance, your peace, and your strength. As I begin this new day, I acknowledge that my heart is heavy with questions and confusion. Life often leads us down paths we never expected, and in those moments of uncertainty, it is easy to feel lost, abandoned, or forgotten. Today, as I open my heart to you, I ask for your comfort in this place of waiting. Lord, I know that the silence can feel deafening at times. We live in a world that values speed, that urges us to have everything figured out now. But I am learning that your timing is not the same as ours. In the midst of my struggles, in the moments when I feel most vulnerable, I can feel the tension between what I want and what you're doing. I confess that there are times when I grow impatient, when I want answers and I want them now. But, Father, I also know that trusting you means trusting your timing, even when it feels like the world is moving around me and I am stuck in place. You are working in ways I cannot see. I feel like the man at the pool of Bethesda, waiting, watching others receive healing, yet still feeling like my moment has not come. It feels like I have been waiting for so long, Father, and the pain of it all seems to echo in the silence. I know you understand this kind of waiting. You know what it is like to feel like everything is taking longer than expected, to wonder if you have been forgotten. Yet, your word tells me that you are never late. Your perfect timing is something I am still learning to trust. The waiting is hard, Lord, but I choose to surrender my sense of time to you. I let go of my need for answers and ask that you help me to find peace in the waiting. In this moment, I acknowledge my frustrations and my fears. I feel the weight of not knowing what comes next. I feel the uncertainty in the air, like a fog that one tea lift. But I choose to believe that you are at work even in the moments when I can't see it. I choose to trust that you are working on my behalf, even when the answers seem delayed. The uncertainty is painful, but I know that it is in this place that you will mold me. It is in this place of waiting that I will grow in faith, in patience, and in trust. Lord, help me to remember that your silence does not mean you are absent. Your ways are higher than mine, and your plans are far greater than I can comprehend. I confess that there are times when I question your timing. I ask myself why things have not happened the way I imagined. But today, I choose to trust that everything is unfolding according to your plan. Your timing is never early, never late. It is always perfect. Help me to find peace in that truth. As I wait, Father, I ask that you fill me with your peace. Help me to stop striving for answers and to start resting in your presence. In this moment, I let go of my need to control and instead choose to trust that you are guiding me through every step. Even when I do not understand the path, I know that the process of waiting is part of the journey, and it is through this waiting that I will learn to trust you more deeply. In the quiet of this moment, I also ask for the courage to let go of my expectations. It is so easy to cling to the life I have envisioned for myself. But today, I lay that vision before you. I surrender my dreams, my desires, and my timeline to you. Father, I trust that what you have for me is far better than anything I could create on my own. I trust that your plans are filled with hope and a future, and I choose to believe in that, even when the way forward is not clear. Lord, I ask that you help me find joy in the waiting. I know that you are using this time to prepare me for something far greater than I can imagine. Though I may not see it now, I trust that you are working in ways that I cannot yet understand. And while I wait, help me to hold on to hope. Hope that you will fulfill your promises. Hope that you will bring healing. Hope that you will provide exactly what I need at the right time. In the quiet, I know you are present. In the stillness, you are working. Help me to embrace this season of waiting, not as a time of delay, but as a time of preparation. Prepare my heart, my mind, and my spirit for the blessings that you are preparing for me. Even when I do not see it, even when I do not feel it, I trust that you are working behind the scenes to bring about what is best for me. Lord, I ask for your grace to sustain me through this season. Help me to remember that waiting is not passive. It is an active choice to trust, to believe, and to surrender. I want to grow in faith. Father, I want to be a person who trusts you fully, who believes that you are always working. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, strengthen my trust in your perfect timing, a knowing that you will never leave me nor forsake me. As I face the uncertainty of today, I choose to hold on to your promises. I declare that your timing is perfect, and I trust that you are always at work in my life. I may not see the end result, but I know that you are preparing me for something greater. Thank you for being with me in this season of waiting, for guiding me through it, and for teaching me to trust you more deeply. May I find peace in the knowledge that your plan is far greater than my own. I surrender my worries, my fears, and my need for control to you. I trust that in your time, you will make all things beautiful. I hold on to the truth that your word will never fail, and your promises will always come to pass in your perfect timing. Father, as I stand before you once more this morning, I am reminded of your unchanging love and boundless grace. I feel the weight of my heart, still heavy with the uncertainty of the journey ahead, but I also feel a quiet urging within me. It is an invitation, Father, a call to let go. You have been gentle with me, leading me to the place where I can finally surrender, not just my worries, but my very need for control. The trust I seek from you can only be found in surrender. I reflect on the struggles I have faced, the tension between what I want and what you are guiding me toward. There are times when I cling to my own timelines, believing that I know the best way, the best pace for my life. But I now realize, Lord, that my vision is limited. My perspective is clouded by impatience, by fear of the unknown. You see the whole picture. You see the threads that connect each moment, each event in my life. And I must trust that you are weaving something far more beautiful than I can imagine. The act of surrender is not easy. Father, it feels vulnerable, like stepping into the unknown with no map, no guide. And yet, I hear you calling me to release the control I so tightly hold. There is so much peace in this call. even though it feels daunting. In this quiet moment, I hear your voice saying, "Let go." It is a gentle whisper, one that assures me that when I surrender my will to yours, I am not losing anything, I am gaining everything. I have struggled, Lord, with this need to control. I have wanted to see the outcome, to have every answer in hand before I move forward. But in these moments of waiting, I am realizing that the true act of faith is not in securing my own plan, but in trusting you with the unknown. When I let go of the desire to control, I make space for you to work in ways that are beyond my comprehension. I invite your will, Father, not because I fully understand it, but because I trust that you are good and you are faithful. Your love never fails, and your timing is always perfect. I think back to the times in Scripture when your children were asked to surrender. Abraham, called to leave his home and his family, had no idea where he was going, yet he trusted in your promise. Moses, reluctant and unsure, trusted you to deliver his people from Egypt. The Israelites, walking through the wilderness, had no idea what lay ahead, but they were learning to trust you step by step. These examples remind me that the journey of surrender is one of faith in the unseen. Faith that what you are doing is good, even when it does not make sense in the moment. In the same way, I stand here today, unsure of what lies ahead, but I choose to trust. I choose to release the grip I have on the timeline of my life and place it in your hands. Father, I am learning that true peace is found in surrender. I release my need for answers. I release my need to have everything figured out. And I trust that you, the creator of the universe, are far more capable of handling my life than I am. My hands are open now, Lord, ready to receive whatever you have for me. It is not just about letting go of my worries or my plans, but of letting go of my own pride. The pride that tells me I should have all the answers. The pride that whispers, "You can do this on your own." I confess, Lord, that I have relied too much on my own strength, too much on my own understanding. But today, I choose to lean on you, to trust in your wisdom and your perfect timing. In this moment of surrender, I feel a quiet strength building within me. It is not the strength that comes from control or certainty, but the strength that comes from trusting you completely. I feel lighter, as though a burden has been lifted. I no longer have to carry the weight of my own expectations. I place them before you, Father, trusting that you will carry them for me. Father, this surrender is not easy, and I know it will not be a one-time decision. It is a daily choice to trust, to release, and to follow where you lead. But I take that first step today, acknowledging that your way is better than mine. Your plan is better than my own, and I surrender all that I am to you. Knowing that you will guide me through each moment, I also ask, Lord, that you give me the grace to wait with patience. Waiting is part of surrender. It is learning to trust in your timing, even when I cannot see the outcome. It is in the waiting that my trust in you will grow, and in the waiting, I will learn to rely fully on your strength and not my own. Help me, Father, to rest in the assurance that you are never late, that you are always working on my behalf, even when I cannot see it. Today, as I continue this journey, I choose to surrender the things I cannot control. I surrender my desires, my plans, and my fears. I trust that you are guiding me, step by step, on a path that I could never have imagined, but one that is filled with your love, your peace, and your provision. Thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to release my hold on my life and place it completely in your hands. I know this is not the end of my journey, but the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter where I will learn to trust more deeply, surrender more fully, and walk more closely with you. And so, I move forward today, not with anxiety or fear, but with a heart open to your will, trusting that you will lead me through this day and every day that follows. In this moment of surrender, I place my trust in you completely, knowing that you are in control. I am no longer bound by the need to have everything figured out. I am free to trust in your perfect plan for my life. Father, as I continue to sit in your presence this morning, I feel the weight of your love and the peace that comes from trusting in your perfect timing. The act of surrender that we spoke of in the previous chapter is still unfolding in my heart, and I can already feel the release of control, bringing a sense of freedom. I am beginning to understand that letting go is not just about giving up, but about making space for your miraculous work to enter into my life. In this moment, Father, I want to remember the countless ways you have shown up in my life, even when I did not fully understand the circumstances at the time. I want to reflect on the miracles, big and small, that I have experienced in the past. These are the moments that build my faith, the moments that remind me that you are always working behind the scenes, even when I can't see it. As I look back on the journey of my life, there are memories that stand out, memories where your hand was so evident, even in the darkest times. I recall times when I thought I could not take another step, but somehow you made a way. I remember moments when I was overwhelmed with fear, yet you brought peace that surpassed all understanding. There were times when I was lost, not knowing which way to go, and you led me with your gentle hand. These are the reminders I need, Father, to trust in you now. There were times in my life when I thought I had everything figured out. I thought I knew the right path, the right timing, but looking back, I see that my understanding was limited. I see now that your timing was perfect all along. The relationships, the opportunities, the struggles, all of them were part of your plan, even when I could not see it at the time. You were working things out for my good. Now, as I reflect on those moments, I can see your fingerprints on every single step. The miracles in my life may not have always been dramatic or obvious, but they were miracles nonetheless. The miracle of provision when I least expected it. The miracle of healing when the doctors said it was impossible. The miracle of peace in the midst of chaos. These are the moments that affirm your power and faithfulness. And Father, I know that just because I may not see a miracle unfolding right now, that does not mean you are absent or that you are not at work. I think about the people in the Bible who waited on you, those whose stories remind me that you are never early, never late, but always right on time. The story of the Israelites wandering through the wilderness comes to mind. They had no idea how long they would be in the desert, but you were with them every step of the way. You fed them, you guided them, and you never left them. Their journey was not easy, but it was necessary, and you used that waiting period to prepare them for what was ahead. Then, I think of the story of Hannah, a woman who was deeply anguished by her inability to have children. Year after year, she prayed and waited, and still, nothing changed. But in the midst of her pain and waiting, she chose to trust. She surrendered her desire to you, and in your perfect time, you answered her prayer. She did not know when or how it would happen, but she trusted that you would answer in your way and your time. And Father, that is what I need to today, trust that in your timing, you will bring the answers to my prayers. As I reflect on these stories, I am reminded that waiting is not wasted. The times of waiting in my life are not signs of abandonment, but opportunities for growth, for learning, and for preparing. You are working behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail, and I may not always see it, but I can trust that you are at work. Father, help me to remember that every season of waiting in my life has a purpose. There is meaning in every delay, every unanswered prayer, and every moment of silence. I choose to believe that you are preparing me for something greater. I do not know what the future holds, but I trust that you do. I trust that the miracles you have in store for me are beyond what I can imagine. So today, as I stand in this moment, I choose to hold on to your past faithfulness to build my present trust. I look back at all that you have done in my life, the ways you have moved, the prayers you have answered, the miracles you have performed, and I use that as a foundation for my faith today. I know that you are the same yesterday, today, and forever. If you have done it before, you can do it again. Father, I also ask for the strength to see your miracles in the present. Help me to see you at work in my life today, not just in the big things, but in the small moments, in the quiet blessings that are easy to overlook. Open my eyes to the miracles that are happening around me right now. Give me the perspective to see your hand at work, even when it seems like nothing is changing. I pray for the grace to trust in your perfect timing, even when I do not understand it. Help me to rest in the assurance that you are in control, that you are always present, and that you are working everything for my good. I choose to believe that every moment, every delay, and every silence is part of your greater plan for my life. Thank you, Father, for the miracles I have already experienced. Thank you for your faithfulness, your provision, and your love. And thank you for the miracles that are still to come. I trust in your perfect timing, knowing that you are always at work, even when I cannot see it. As I continue on this journey, Father, I remember your past faithfulness, and I choose to trust in your future promises. I surrender my will, my timeline, and my plans to you, and I ask that you help me to walk in faith, trusting that you are always with me, guiding me, and preparing me for the blessings that you have in store. Father, as I continue to walk this journey with you this morning, I am drawn back to the space we spoke of earlier, the space of surrender. I am beginning to understand that surrender is not a one-time act, but a continuous choice. Each new day offers a new opportunity to place my heart before you, to release my desire for control and trust in your timing. Yet, there is something I continue to wrestle with in this process, your silence. Father, the silence feels heavy at times. It is in these moments that I find my thoughts racing, my heart questioning, wondering where you are and why it seems like the answers I seek are not coming. It is easy to feel abandoned when the heavens seem quiet, when the prayers I have poured out feel unanswered, or at least unheard. It is as if the silence echoes back, amplifying my fears and doubts. In these moments of waiting, silence can feel like a void, a space where I am left to figure it out on my own. I wonder if I have been forgotten, or if my prayers have somehow fallen through the cracks. There are times when I feel like I am screaming into the silence, waiting for anything to break through. And yet, nothing comes. But Lord, you have shown me time and time again that silence is not absence. Silence does not mean that you are not at work. I think about the many times in Scripture when you were silent, yet your presence was still felt. Your silence did not indicate indifference. It was often the prelude to something greater. I reflect on the story of Job, who sat in silence for days, surrounded by his grief, his confusion, his unanswered questions. Yet in that silence, you were preparing him for a deeper revelation of your faithfulness, your sovereignty, and your love. And I see now, Father, that silence is a part of the journey, not a sign of neglect. It is in these quiet moments that you are teaching me to trust when I cannot hear, to wait when I cannot see the way. There is something about silence that deepens my faith, something that draws me closer to you when words cannot capture my heart's cry. Silence allows me to stop striving, to stop looking for quick fixes, and to simply be with you. Lord, I know that silence is not about ignoring my pain or pretending that everything is okay. It is not about denying the struggle I feel. Rather, it is about learning to trust in your presence even when I cannot hear your voice. It is in this silence that I am learning to listen more deeply, to trust more fully, and to surrender more completely. When I cannot hear you, I will remember that you are still speaking, just in a way that I may not understand yet. Your ways are not mine. Your timing is not mine. And your methods are often beyond what I can fathom. But you have shown me, through Scripture and through my own life, that silence is not a void. It is an invitation to lean in and trust in the work you are doing, even when it is invisible to me. I think about how Jesus, when he was on the cross, cried out in a loud voice, my God, why have you forsaken me?" In that moment, the silence from God must have been deafening. Yet, We know that in that silence, the most significant act of salvation was taking place. It was in that silence that the world was being transformed, that the greatest miracle was unfolding. Father, help me to see that just because I cannot see or hear your work does not mean you are not moving. I also recall the story of Elijah, who stood on the mountain, waiting for you to pass by. You were not in the mighty wind, or the earthquake, or the fire. Instead, you came in a gentle whisper. Sometimes, Father, you speak to us not through loud answers or immediate relief, but in the quiet whispers that come when we pause and listen. Teach me to listen for your gentle whispers, even when the world around me is loud with distraction and noise. I recognize that silence often reveals what is in my heart. In the quiet, my fears come to the surface. My insecurities are laid bare, and my desire for control becomes clear. But Lord, this is also where you meet me, in the silence. You invite me to confront these things, to release them, and to trust you more deeply. It is in the silence that I am purified, my faith is refined, and my dependence on you is strengthened. Father, I ask that you help me embrace the silence, not as a punishment, but as a gift, the gift of learning to be still, to rest in your presence, and to trust you when answers seem distant. Help me to quiet my heart, to quiet my mind, and to be fully present with you. Even when there are no words, I do not need to have everything figured out or have all the answers today. All I need is you, in the silence. Father, you are teaching me patience, teaching me to trust in the timing of your answers, even when I cannot predict them. I no longer want to rush through this season of waiting, but instead, I want to savor it. I want to learn what you have to teach me in this quiet place. I want to be still enough to hear your voice, even if it is a whisper. Lord, I pray for the strength to endure the silence. When it feels overwhelming, when it feels like I can't bear the waiting any longer, remind me that this silence is not forever. It is a temporary season, and in it, you are doing something beautiful, something eternal. Teach me to wait with expectation, knowing that you are working even when I cannot see or hear it. I trust, Father, that your silence is filled with purpose. I trust that in this quiet moment, you are preparing me for something greater than I could ever imagine. Help me to see this silence as an opportunity to draw nearer to you, to grow in faith, and to be transformed by your love. When the silence feels overwhelming, when the waiting feels endless, help me to remember that you are never far from me. You are always near, always at work. Even when I cannot hear you, I trust that in your perfect time, you will speak, you will answer. But until then, I will rest in your presence, knowing that even in silence, you are enough. Father, as I continue to sit in your presence, I feel the echoes of our last conversation about the silence, the waiting, and the discomfort that often comes with it. It is as if you have been gently leading me through a season of stillness, teaching me to embrace the quiet, to trust in your unseen work. But, Lord, as I reflect on these moments, I realize something even more challenging than silence. patience, patience is not just about waiting. It is not simply about passing the time while you work behind the scenes. It is about actively choosing to trust in your timing, even when my heart longs for answers right now. Father, I have come to understand that the true power of waiting lies in the strength of patience. Patience is not easy, especially when the circumstances around me seem to scream for immediate resolution. The world tells me that if I want something, I should act now. If I have a desire, I should pursue it aggressively. But you have shown me that true strength is found in the quiet confidence that you are at work, even when nothing is moving on the surface, in the waiting. Father, I have often felt restless. It is as though the more I wait, the more impatient I become. The clock ticks slowly, the days stretch on, and I find myself questioning if I am doing something wrong. But as I sit here now, I realize that this impatience is not born out of a lack of faith in you. It is simply the human struggle of wanting to control the timing of things. I want the answers now, but you are teaching me that true trust lies in letting go of my control and allowing you to unfold everything in your time. Lord, I think of the many examples in Scripture where your people had to wait. Abraham, Moses, David, each of them was called to trust you, not just in the promises you made, but in the timing of those promises. I think of Abraham, waiting for the child you promised him. He was a man of great faith, yet he had to wait many years for the fulfillment of your word. How often must he have felt like it was all a dream? How many times did his heart ache as he looked at his own life and saw no sign of what you had promised? And yet, in the end, your promise came at just the right time. Moses, too, had to wait. He spent 40 years in the desert, waiting for your call, waiting for the right moment to step into his purpose. There were times when he likely questioned the years spent in exile, wondering if the dreams you had placed in his heart would ever come to pass. But, Father, you were at work in those years. You were shaping him, refining him, preparing him for the task you had ahead. David, anointed to be king, spent years running from Saul, hiding in caves and fleeing for his life. The promise of his future as king seemed so far away in those moments of trial. And yet, Lord, you were using those years to prepare him for the kingship, to build his character, to teach him reliance on you. He had to wait for the appointed time, and in that waiting, he learned what it truly meant to trust in your plan, not his own. I find strength in their stories. Father, they remind me that waiting is not passive. It is not about being idle or giving in to frustration. Waiting, when done in patience, is an active choice to trust in your perfect plan. It is about believing that you are working even when we can't see the progress. It is about trusting that the delays are not denials, but rather opportunities for growth. Father, I ask for the strength to grow in patience. I know that it is not always easy to wait. There are moments when my heart feels heavy, when the uncertainty seems unbearable, and I just want to rush ahead, to make things happen. But, Lord, I am learning that the greatest breakthroughs often come after the longest waits. I pray that you would help me to find peace in the waiting. Help me to trust that your timing is always perfect, even when I cannot see it. Teach me to embrace patience, not as a burden, but as a gift. Patience allows me to lean deeper into you, to grow in faith, and to let go of the need to control every detail. Patience, Father, helps me to trust not only in your promises, but in your timing as well. I may not understand why I have to wait, but I trust that you are making all things beautiful in their time. Lord, I confess that I have often allowed impatience to cloud my judgment. I have tried to rush things, to make things happen on my own, instead of waiting on you. But I realize now that my impatience only creates more chaos. It does not move things forward. It only moves me further from the peace you desire for me. Father, I ask for your grace in this area of my life. Help me to wait with hope, to trust in your timing, and to find peace in your presence, even in the silence. I pray for the ability to surrender my plans, to let go of the timelines I have created, and to rest in the knowledge that you are in control. I want to be like the tree planted by streams of water, whose roots go deep, whose leaves stay green, and who bears fruit in season. Patience is what strengthens my roots. Father, it is what gives me the strength to stand firm in times of trial and to bear fruit when the time is right. Help me to trust in the process, to trust in the timing of the seasons you have set for my life. I know that in this season of waiting, you are doing something far greater than I can imagine. You are teaching me patience, endurance, and trust. You are preparing me for the blessings that are ahead, and I choose to believe that your plan is greater than anything I could ever design for myself. Father, I pray for the wisdom to wait patiently and for the grace to trust in your plan without rushing ahead. I know that you are working in my life, even when I cannot see it, and that your timing is always perfect. Teach me to trust that you are preparing me for something greater than I could ever ask or imagine. Thank you, Lord, for the gift of patience. Thank you for teaching me to wait on you, knowing that in your time, you will make everything beautiful. I choose to trust in your perfect timing today and always. I let go of the need to rush and embrace the peace that comes from waiting on you. Father, as I continue to reflect on the lessons you have been teaching me, I find myself once again caught in the delicate tension between waiting and trusting, the quiet moments I have spent with you, Father, are beginning to feel less like a burden and more like an opportunity for deep, spiritual transformation. I realize that the waiting, though challenging, is not wasted. In fact, it is in this season of stillness that you are refining me, purifying my heart, and preparing me for the future you have planned for me. It is not always easy to see, Lord, but I am beginning to understand that waiting is more than just a passive experience. It is an active process, a refining fire that shapes my character and deepens my trust. The very act of waiting, of enduring without knowing the outcome, is where the true transformation happens. It is in this place of uncertainty that you are working, refining my heart, and purging away the things that hinder my relationship with you. I think of gold. Father, the gold must be placed in the fire to burn away the impurities. Without the heat of the fire, the gold remains dull and unrefined. So too, do you allow these times of waiting and silence to refine me? In the heat of uncertainty, you are refining my faith, purifying my trust in you, and revealing the deeper parts of my heart that need to be surrendered. You are helping me let go of the things that keep me from fully embracing your will for my life. Father, as I wait, I know that you are doing a deep work in me. The waiting is uncomfortable, and there are moments when I feel like giving up, when I wonder if this process will ever end. But I trust that you are doing something in me that could not happen any other way. You are teaching me to rely on you more than I rely on myself. You are stripping away the pride that leads me to think I can control everything. And you are building in me a foundation of trust, one that is not based on what I can see or understand, but on your faithfulness. As I reflect on the process of refinement, I think of the story of a potter shaping the clay. The potter does not just mold the clay with ease. The clay must be worked and shaped. Sometimes gently, sometimes with a bit more force, until the potter's vision for it is realized. In the same way, you are shaping me. Father, there are times when the process is gentle, and other times when it feels like I am being stretched and broken. But I know that you are the master potter, and you are shaping me into the person you want me to be. Even when the process is painful, I trust that you are making something beautiful from the brokenness. The waiting also brings a deep sense of humility. Lord, I am reminded that I am not in control of the timing or the outcome. The world tells me to push forward, to take charge, to make things happen. But in your kingdom, I am learning that there is power in surrender. There is strength in waiting. There is wisdom in trusting that your timing is always perfect. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, I am not in charge of the when, the how, or the why. You are, and I trust that you know exactly what you are doing. Father, help me to embrace this season of waiting as an opportunity for growth. I do not want to rush through it or wish it away. I want to learn from it. I want to grow in patience, in perseverance, and in faith. I want to allow you to refine me so that I am more like you. The waiting is not just about the destination, but about the journey. It is about what you are doing in me right now, in this very moment, as I wait for what is to come. As I look at the waiting seasons in Scripture, I see how you use those moments to prepare your people for the future you had for them. Joseph, waiting in prison, was being prepared to lead a nation. Moses, waiting in the desert, was being prepared to lead the Israelites out of bondage. Even Jesus, in his time on earth, waited for the appointed time to begin his ministry. None of these waiting periods were wasted. Father, each one was a moment of preparation, a moment of refinement, a moment of growth. I ask that you help me see my waiting in the same way. I ask for your eyes to see the opportunities for growth, the moments of refining that are hidden in the discomfort. I want to be aware of what you are doing in me during this time. And I want to cooperate with your work. I do not want to rush to the end, but rather want to lean into the process, trusting that you are doing something beautiful in me. Father, I also pray for the strength to endure the waiting with grace. It is so easy to become frustrated, to feel like nothing is happening. But I know that you are always at work, even when I can see it. Help me to trust in your plan, to trust that every moment of waiting is part of your greater purpose for my life. Even when the wait feels long, I will trust that you are shaping me, refining me, and preparing me for what is to come. And as I wait, Lord, help me to be present. Help me to be fully engaged in each moment, not distracted by what I think should happen or what I want to happen, but present in your presence. Help me to surrender my own expectations and trust that you are leading me exactly where I need to be. Father, I know that you are not wasting this time. You are refining my character, deepening my faith, and preparing me for the future you have in store. I thank you for this time of waiting, knowing that it is shaping me into the person you want me to be. I trust that when the time is right, you will bring about what you have promised. Until then, I will wait with hope, with patience, and with a heart that is fully surrendered to your will. Dear Heavenly Father, as I sit here this morning, reflecting on the journey we have been walking together, I am once again reminded of the importance of trust. I have come to understand, Father, that trust is not just something I must do in the moments when life is clear and certain. No, trust becomes something far more powerful when life is uncertain, when the path ahead is unclear, and when the wait seems longer than expected. It is easy to trust when things are going according to plan, when everything is unfolding just as we imagined. But real trust, the kind of trust that deepens our faith and draws us closer to you, is forged in the moments of uncertainty, in the moments when we have no answers, no direction, and no visible sign of progress. That is when trust becomes real. I think back on the times in my life when uncertainty seemed to consume me. The moments when I did not know where to turn or how to move forward. In those moments, my heart was tempted to lean on my own understanding, to try and figure things out on my own, to control what I could not. But as you have shown me, Father, it is in those moments that I must let go the most. It is in those times of uncertainty that I must lean into you with all my heart and trust that you know the way, even when I cannot see it. Lord, I confess that it is not always easy to trust in the unknown. The uncertainty often feels overwhelming. It is in these moments that my thoughts can become a whirlwind of what-ifs. And why is this happening? I wonder why things are not moving forward, why the answers seem to be delayed. But even in my questioning, I hear you gently whisper, "Trust me." And so, Father, I choose to trust. I choose to trust in your goodness, your wisdom, and your timing. The uncertainty of life is not something I can control, and in my desire for clarity, I sometimes miss the opportunity to grow in faith. Father, I realize that trust does not require certainty. It requires surrender. It requires the willingness to step forward into the unknown, a knowing that you are with me every step of the way. It requires releasing my need for immediate answers and choosing to believe that you are working in the background, even when I can't see it. Just as you led the Israelites through the wilderness, I know that you are leading me through my own wilderness. There were moments for them when the path seemed long and uncertain. They wandered in the desert, waiting for the promise you had made. They had no idea how or when they would enter the land you had promised them. But they trusted in your plan, even when they did not understand it. Father, help me to trust in your plan the way they did. Help me to walk with faith, even when the way ahead is unclear. I remember the story of the blind man in Jericho, calling out to you, Jesus, in the midst of a crowd. He did not know when or how he would be healed, but he trusted that you could heal him, even when everything seemed to be against him. And you heard him. You saw his faith, his trust in the unknown, and you healed him. Father, I want to have that kind of trust. I want to trust in your power, even when the circumstances around me are filled with uncertainty. I want to cry out to you in my blindness, trusting that you will see me and guide me to the healing I need. Lord, I also think of the story of Peter walking on the water. As long as he kept his eyes on you, he could walk confidently toward you, even in the midst of the storm. But the moment he took his eyes off of you and looked at the wind and the waves, he began to sink. I can relate to Peter. Father, I often find myself looking at the storm around me, at the uncertainty, and I begin to feel myself sinking. But just like you reached out to Peter and pulled him back up, you are always there to catch me when I fall. When I take my eyes off you and start focusing on my circumstances, I begin to lose my footing. But when I choose to keep my eyes on you, Father, I can walk confidently, even in the most uncertain of times. Father, teach me to trust even when everything around me says it is impossible. Teach me to trust that you are in control, even when I cannot see the way forward. Help me to take that step, not knowing what the next step will look like, but trusting that you are already there. I do not need to know the whole journey. I just need to trust you with the next step. In the face of uncertainty, I want to choose to believe that you are good, that you are with me, and that you are working all things together for my good. Even when I cannot see the way ahead, I know that you can. Even when I feel lost, I know that you are guiding me. Even when the answers seem delayed, I trust that your timing is perfect. Father, I pray for a deepening of my trust in you. Help me to surrender my need for certainty and allow my trust in you to grow. Help me to trust not only when the way is clear, but especially when it is not. Teach me to wait with hope, knowing that even in the uncertainty, you are at work. When I do not know what the future holds, I will trust you with it, knowing that you hold my future in your hands. I ask, Father, that you would continue to strengthen my faith in times of uncertainty. May I look to you as my anchor, my rock and my refuge. When the storm rages around me, help me to remain steady in my trust, knowing that you are always with me, always leading me, always guiding me. As I move forward today, I choose to trust in your perfect plan for my life. I choose to trust that you are already ahead of me, preparing the way. And I will walk in that trust, step by step, even in the face of uncertainty. I will place my hope in you, knowing that you will never fail me. Father, as I sit here this morning, reflecting on the journey we have been walking together, I feel the weight of my heart. The struggles, the questions, and the moments of uncertainty seem to rise up once again. But I feel a gentle reminder from you, wait on me. These words settle into my spirit. Father, reminding me that even in the silence and the delay, you are at work. I have been learning to surrender, learning to trust in your timing. And now, I am beginning to understand that waiting is not just about enduring, it is about allowing you to shape me, refine me, and guide me. Waiting, Father, is not a passive act. It is not just a matter of sitting idly by, hoping for something to change. No, waiting on you is an active process. It requires patience, trust, and surrender. It is not just about longing for the outcome, but about learning to rest in you, knowing that your timing is always perfect, even when it does not align with my expectations. I am beginning to see that waiting on you is not just an exercise in patience, it is a powerful act of faith. In the past, I have often seen waiting as something negative, something to be avoided. I have seen it as a time of nothing happening, of feeling stuck, of not moving forward. But now, Father, I see that waiting on you is a season of growth, a season of preparation. You are not idle in this waiting. You are working in ways that I cannot always see. In the waiting, you are transforming my heart, my mind, and my spirit. You are strengthening my faith, deepening my trust, and building my character. Waiting on you is not a delay in my life. It is a necessary part of the process. I think of the people in Scripture who had to wait for your perfect timing. Joseph, waiting in prison, not knowing when or if his dreams would ever come to pass. Moses, waiting in the wilderness, not knowing when you would call him to lead your people. David, waiting to be crowned king, even though he was anointed for the task long before. Each of these individuals had to wait. Father, they had to trust that you were working even when it felt like nothing was happening. They had to believe that you had a purpose in the waiting, even when the path ahead seemed unclear. I am learning that the waiting is part of the process, part of the plan. It is not a time wasted. Father, it is a time of preparation. You are preparing me for what lies ahead, preparing my heart to receive the blessings you have in store for me, just as the seed must be planted and nurtured before it can grow into something beautiful. So too must I be nurtured in the waiting. You are cultivating patience, trust, and faith in me. Father, you are teaching me to rely on you and not on my own understanding. There are days when waiting feels difficult, when doubt creeps in, and I begin to wonder if things will ever change. But even in those moments, I am reminded of your promises. You have never failed me, and you will not fail me now. Your word is true, and your timing is perfect. When I feel like I cannot wait any longer, you remind me that you are working in ways that I cannot see. You are aligning the pieces of my life, orchestrating everything for my good. I may not understand it all right now, but I trust that you are in control. Father, I know that waiting on you requires trust. It requires me to release my own agenda and surrender to yours. It requires me to let go of my need for immediate answers and trust that you are working behind the scenes, preparing everything in your perfect timing. I ask for the strength to wait with hope, to trust that you are always with me, even in the silent moments. I pray for the patience to endure the waiting, knowing that you are not delaying things, but preparing me for what is to come. I think about the time the Israelites spent in the desert, waiting to enter the promised land. It was not easy for them. Father, they faced challenges. They grew impatient, and at times, they doubted your promises. But you were with them every step of the way. You led them, provided for them, and strengthened them in the waiting. And when the time was right, you brought them into the land you had promised. Father, help me to remember that my waiting is not without purpose. You are leading me, you are providing for me, and you are strengthening me for the future you have in store. Waiting on you, Father, is not a passive act. It is a time of active trust. It is a time of surrender. It is a time of deepening my relationship with you. As I wait, I choose to rest in your presence, to trust that you are working in me and through me, and to believe that your timing is always perfect. Even when I do not understand it, I trust that you know what is best. I surrender my timeline to you and choose to trust in your perfect plan. Lord, I pray for the patience to wait with hope. When I feel weary in the waiting, remind me of the beauty of your timing. Help me to see the waiting not as a delay, but as an opportunity for growth. Teach me to trust that, in your perfect time, you will bring about the desires of my heart, and in the meantime, you are preparing me for what is to come. I trust, Father, that you are always at work, even when I cannot see it. I trust that you are leading me, guiding me, and preparing me for the future you have in store. I trust that your timing is perfect, and I will wait on you with hope, with faith, and with confidence that you will never fail me. Father, as I sit with you this morning, reflecting on the journey we have been walking together, I am once again reminded of your presence, even when I cannot see it. The process of waiting, of trusting, of releasing my need for control, these are not always easy, but they are necessary. I have learned that in the waiting, you are often working behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail of my life in ways I may not fully understand. As we have discussed before, Lord, trust is most powerful in the moments when I cannot see the full picture. The unknown, the uncertainty, is where my faith is tested, and it is in these moments, Father, that I need to learn to trust in the unseen, trust in the work you are doing, even when it is not visible to me. Trust that you are at work in the quiet places, the hidden spaces, behind the scenes where I cannot fully grasp the extent of your hand. There are times when I feel like nothing is happening. The prayers seem unanswered, the dreams seem distant, and the promises feel delayed. But in these moments, Father, I am learning to rest in the truth that you are never idle. You are always at work, even when I cannot see it. The invisible work you are doing is just as important as the visible work that I can see. I reflect on the story of Esther, Father, who had no idea that you were positioning her for such a time as that. At the time, she could not see how the pieces of her life were coming together, but you were working behind the scenes, orchestrating events in a way that would eventually save your people. She did not know how things would unfold, but she trusted in your timing and your plan. She took the step of faith, even when she could not see the end result, because she trusted that you were at work. Father, I want that kind of trust. I want to trust that you are always moving, even when I cannot see the movement, and even in my own life. Father, I can see that there are times when I have felt like things were stuck, like I was waiting and waiting for something to change. But when I look back now, I see how you were working in ways that I could not have imagined at the time. You were laying the foundation, preparing my heart, and aligning everything according to your perfect plan. Sometimes, it is hard to see how you are working, Lord. It is easy to feel like things are out of control, like I am left to figure it out on my own. But I know, deep down, that you are always with me, always working, even in the unseen. You are the one who makes a way. There seems to be no way. When the road is unclear, you are the one who lights the path. And even when I cannot see the way ahead, I can trust that you are leading me step by step. Father, I am reminded of the story of the Israelites crossing the Red Sea. When they were trapped between Pharaoh's army and the sea, they could see no way out. The path ahead was completely blocked. But you, in your power and wisdom, made a way where there seemed to be no way. You parted the sea, and they walked through on dry land. What looked like an impossible situation became the place of their deliverance. Even in the darkest hour, when they could not see the solution, you were working, and they had to trust you. Even when they could not see how you would deliver them. Lord, I know that you are doing this in my own life as well. I may not see the path clearly now, but I trust that you are already working, already preparing the way. You are moving pieces behind the scenes that I cannot see, and I trust that you are making a way for me. Even when I do not understand how it will happen, the unseen hand of God is at work in every moment of my life, guiding me, leading me, and shaping me. And as I trust you, Father, I want to be mindful of the power of your unseen hand in my life. I want to trust that, even when things seem uncertain, you are at work. I want to lean into the moments of silence, of waiting, and of stillness, knowing that these are the times when you are shaping me the most. Even when I cannot see the end result, I can trust that you are leading me to exactly where I need to be. Father, Help me to trust the unseen work you are doing in my life. Help me to have faith that you are moving even when I can't feel it. Help me to rely on your unseen hand, knowing that you are always with me, guiding me and protecting me. I choose to trust you, even when I do not see the way forward. I choose to trust that your plans for me are good, even when I cannot understand the timing or the process. I also pray, Father, for the wisdom to recognize your unseen work in my life. Help me to see the ways you are moving, even when I can see the full picture. Open my eyes to the ways you are guiding me, even in the quiet moments. Help me to trust in the steps that are not yet clear, knowing that you are leading me to something greater. Father, I want to be like the servant in the story of Elisha, who trusted in the unseen army of God. When the servant could not see the army that surrounded them, Elisha prayed that his eyes would be opened. And when his eyes were opened, he saw the vast army of angels surrounding them. Father, open my eyes to see the work you are doing in my life, even when it is not visible to my physical eyes. Help me to trust that your power is at work, even in the unseen. And so, Father, I continue to trust in the unseen hand of God. I trust that you are always at work in my life, even when I cannot see it. I trust that you are leading me, guiding me, and preparing me for what lies ahead. I place my life in your hands, and knowing that you are the one who holds all things together, I trust that you will make a way, even when I cannot see it. Father, as I reflect on the journey we have been walking together, I come to you this morning with a heart that is still learning to trust fully. In the previous chapters, I have acknowledged the need to surrender, to wait, and to trust in your perfect timing. And yet, even as I surrender and wait, I still feel the weight of fear and doubt trying to creep in. These emotions are powerful, Lord, and they often hold me back from fully embracing the peace you offer. It is so easy to hold on to fear and doubt. Father, they feel like old companions, always there in the back of my mind, whispering that things won't work out, that I can trust, that I am not enough. Fear tells me to protect myself, to guard against disappointment, to control the outcome so that I won't get hurt. Doubt, on the other hand, makes me question your promises, makes me wonder if you will come through as you have said. These emotions feel so real, so immediate, yet I know they do not come from you. Father, I realize now that fear and doubt are not just obstacles to trust. They are signs that I am still holding on to something that I need to release. I am holding on to control, to the belief that I must manage every aspect of my life to ensure everything turns out well. I am holding on to the belief that I need to protect myself, to avoid pain and disappointment at all costs. But I know that you are calling me to release this control, to trust you even when fear and doubt try to overtake my heart. You have shown me time and time again that you are faithful. You have kept your promises, and your word is true. And yet, there are times when I still find myself afraid. I still find myself doubting that you will come through for me, especially when the way forward seems unclear. But, Lord, I know that fear and doubt cannot stand in the presence of trust. When I choose to trust in you, when I place my fear and doubt before you, I open the door for peace to flood my heart. I think of the disciples, Father, who were with Jesus in the boat during the storm. They were terrified, convinced that they were going to drown. Even though Jesus was right there with them, they cried out, "Lord, save us. We are perishing." And yet, in the midst of their fear, Jesus stood up, calmed the storm, and said, "Why are you afraid, O you of little faith?" In that moment, the disciples learned that fear and doubt could not stand against the power of your presence. They learned that even in the most terrifying moments, they could trust in your protection and provision. Father, just as Jesus calmed the storm, I pray that you would calm the storms within my own heart. I pray that you would quiet the fear and doubt that rise up in me and replace them with your peace. Help me to trust that you are with me in every storm, in every uncertainty, and in every moment of doubt. Even when I do not understand what is happening, I trust that you are in control. You are the God who calms the storm, and you are the God who holds my heart in the palm of your hand. I also think of the story of Peter walking on the water toward Jesus. As long as his eyes were fixed on you, Father, he walked with confidence. But the moment he took his eyes off of you and looked at the wind and the waves, fear took over, and he began to sink. But even in his doubt, Jesus reached out his hand and pulled him up. Father, I see so much of myself in Peter. There are moments when I start out in faith, walking toward you with confidence, but then I get distracted by the waves of doubt and fear. I take my eyes off of you, and I begin to sink. But just as you reached out to Peter, you reach out to me. You are always there, always ready to pull me back up when I start to sink. Lord, I ask for your help in overcoming fear and doubt. I ask for the strength to keep my eyes fixed on you, to trust that you are in control, even when everything around me feels uncertain. Help me to recognize the lies that fear and doubt try to tell me, and replace them with the truth of your word. Your word says that you have not given me a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. I pray that you would replace my fear with courage, my doubt with faith, and my anxiety with peace. I also pray that you would help me to surrender my need for certainty. I realize that fear and doubt often stem from my desire for control, my need to know what will happen next. But, Father, I know that your plans for me are far greater than my own. I do not need to know the future. I do not need to have every detail figured out. I just need to trust you. I just need to take the next step, knowing that you are guiding me and that you will never lead me astray. Father, help me to let go of the fear that holds me back, and help me to embrace the peace that comes from trusting in you. Even when I cannot see the way forward, I will trust that you are leading me. Even when I do not have all the answers, I will trust that you know exactly what I need. Help me to find rest in your promises, and to walk in the confidence that you are always with me, always guiding me, always providing for me in the face of fear and doubt. Father, I choose to trust you. I choose to place my heart in your hands and allow you to lead me through every uncertainty, every storm, and every challenge. I trust that you will never fail me, and that you are always working for my good. And in that trust, I find peace. Father, as I sit here this morning, I feel a sense of stillness settling over me. The quiet is a gentle reminder what you have been teaching me through the past few chapters. Waiting is not a passive state. It is a time for growth, a time when my heart learns to trust in your perfect timing and your unwavering faithfulness. I see now that waiting is not a sign of weakness, but a place where strength is built. Father, in the past, I have often viewed waiting as a time of inactivity, of standing still while life seems to pass me by. But I am beginning to realize that waiting is actually a time of great power. It is in the waiting that I am being strengthened, shaped, and prepared for what is to come. I may not see it now, but I trust that you are building in me a strength that can only be forged in these quiet moments. I have learned that the strength in waiting is not the kind of strength that comes from doing. It is not about moving quickly or rushing through the process. It is the strength that comes from being still, from trusting that you are at work even when nothing seems to be happening. It is the strength that comes from remaining steadfast, from holding on to hope when everything around me seems uncertain. Lord, I think of the times when I have felt most powerless, the moments when I have had no control over the situation, when the outcome seemed out of my hands. In those moments, I often felt weak, vulnerable, and unsure of how to move forward. But now, I am learning that it is in those moments of vulnerability that true strength is found, when I can do nothing but wait. I am learning to rely fully on you. It is in my weakness, Lord, that your strength is made perfect. I reflect on the story of David, Father, and how he waited years before becoming king. He was anointed as a young man, yet he spent years running, hiding, and waiting for your appointed time. There were times when he could have taken matters into his own hands, when he could have seized the throne for himself, but he waited. He trusted in your timing, and through those years of waiting, you were building his character, teaching him patience, and preparing him for the leadership you had planned for him. David's strength came not from his actions, but from his willingness to wait on you, to trust in your timing, and to follow where you led. I think about Joseph as well. Father, he, too, waited for many years before the fulfillment of his dreams. He spent time in prison, forgotten by those he helped, and yet he never gave up hope. His waiting, though long and painful, was not wasted. You used those years to shape him, to refine his heart, and to prepare him for the great purpose you had for him. Father, in my own waiting, help me to remember that you are using this time to prepare me for something greater than I can see right now. Lord, I also recognize that waiting is not just about enduring. It is about surrendering my own will and allowing your will to take precedence. In the past, I have often struggled with impatience, wanting to rush through the waiting period to reach the end. But now, I see that it is not about reaching the destination, but about the journey of waiting, trusting, and growing. I am learning to let go of my need to control and to trust that you are working in the unseen, preparing me for what is to come. Father, help me to see that strength is not always found in movement, but in stillness. Help me to embrace this time of waiting as an opportunity to deepen my trust in you. Help me to find strength in your promises, knowing that you are faithful to bring them to pass in your perfect timing. I pray that you would help me to remain steadfast, to hold on to hope, and to trust that, even in the waiting, you are working. I also pray for the strength to wait with a joyful heart. It is easy to become frustrated in the waiting, to grow weary and impatient. But Lord, I want to be like the psalmist who wrote, "I wait for the Lord, my soul waits, and in his word I put my hope." Psalm 130. 5. Father, help me to wait with hope, knowing that you are always at work, even when I cannot see it. Help me to rejoice in the knowledge that you are in control, and that your plans for me are always good. Father, I pray that this time of waiting will not only strengthen my faith, but also deepen my relationship with you. I do not want to rush through this season, but to embrace it fully, knowing that it is in the waiting that I will grow. I want to be present in the process, trusting that you are teaching me valuable lessons that will serve me in the future. I also ask, Lord, for the grace to trust in your timing, even when it feels like everything is moving slowly or not at all. Help me to remember that you are never late. You are always on time, and your timing is perfect. Even when I do not understand the delays, help me to trust that you are working everything out for my good. Lord, I know that waiting is not always easy, but I am beginning to see the beauty in it. It is in the waiting that I am learning to rely more fully on you. It is in the waiting that I am learning to trust your timing and to let go of my need for control. I pray that you would give me the strength to endure this season with grace, knowing that you are preparing me for what lies ahead. Father, I trust that you are using this time to shape me, to refine me, and to make me more like you. I know that the strength I am building in this season will carry me through whatever comes next. Trust that you are preparing me for something greater than I can see, and I am willing to wait for your perfect timing. Father, as I reflect on the lessons you have been teaching me, I find myself once again confronted with the deeper layers of surrender. In the previous chapters, I have learned that trust is cultivated in uncertainty, and strength is built in the waiting. But now, Father, you are calling me to take it even further. You are calling me to surrender not just the parts of my life I feel comfortable releasing, but every single part, every plan, every desire. Surrender, Lord, is not something I do once and then move on. It is a daily, sometimes even hourly, choice to lay down my own will and trust in yours. It is so much more than a passive act. It is an active release of control, a conscious decision to trust that you know what is best for me, even when I can see it, even when it feels painful to let go. In the past, Father, I have often held on tightly to the things I wanted, the life I had planned. I thought that if I worked hard enough, if I controlled every detail, I could ensure everything would unfold the way I envisioned. But I have learned that holding on tightly to my plans only brings frustration and anxiety. I realize now that you are calling me to release my hold on the things I can take control, to surrender my dreams and desires, and trust that you have a better plan for me. I think about the example of Jesus. Father, when he prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane, knowing what lay ahead, he prayed with all his heart. Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me, yet not as I will, but as you will. Matthew 26:39. Jesus, in his deepest moment of anguish, chose surrender. He chose to submit his will to yours, trusting that your plan, though difficult, was the path to redemption for all of humanity. If Jesus, in his moment of pain and uncertainty, could surrender to your will, how much more should I, Father, learn to surrender my own life to you? Surrender, Lord, is not about defeat. It is not about giving up, but about giving over. When I surrender, I am not losing control, but entrusting it to the one who knows far more than I do. I am choosing to let go of the illusion of control and to trust that you are far better equipped to handle the details of my life than I could ever be. Surrender is not a sign of weakness. It is an act of strength that comes from recognizing that my strength is not enough on its own. I confess, Father, that surrender is not always easy for me. There are times when I am scared to release my desires, when I fear that letting go means losing something precious. But today, I realize that surrendering to you does not mean losing what is best for me. It means gaining what you have prepared for me. Your plans are always better, Father, and I can trust that what you have in store for me is far beyond anything I could ever imagine. Surrendering to you also means releasing my timeline. I have spent so many years trying to rush things, trying to make my own plans unfold in my own time. I have thought that if I could just get everything in order, everything would fall into place. But now, I see that it is not about my timeline, but yours. Your timing is perfect. What you are teaching me, Father, is that in surrender, I am learning to trust that you are in control of when and how things happen. I do not need to know the exact path. I just need to trust that you are leading me, step by step, to the place you have prepared for me. I think about the story of Abraham and Isaac. Father, when you asked Abraham to sacrifice his son, the very son you had promised him, Abraham did not understand. He did not know why you were asking this of him, but he trusted you. He surrendered his will to yours, knowing that you had a plan even in the midst of his confusion. And, of course, you provided a way, sparing Isaac and fulfilling your promise in ways Abraham could not have imagined. Father, help me to trust you like Abraham did, even when I do not understand the path ahead. Help me to surrender my confusion, my questions, and my fears to you, knowing that you are working all things together for my good. Lord, I also think of the story of Mary, the mother of Jesus. When you called her to be the mother of the Savior, she did not fully understand what that would mean, but she surrendered herself to your will, saying, I am the Lord's servant. May your word to me be fulfilled. Luke 1:38. Mary's surrender was not easy, but it was an act of trust that changed the course of history. Father, I want to be like Mary, willing to surrender, even when the road ahead is unclear. Even when I do not know the full picture, I want to say, like she did, may your word to me be fulfilled. Father, ask that you help me to surrender my heart to you. There are areas of my life that I have been holding on to, afraid to let go, afraid of what might happen if I release them. But today, I choose to surrender them to you. I surrender my dreams, my desires, my plans, and my fears. I give them all to you, trusting that you will handle them far better than I ever could. Help me to surrender my relationships to you, Father, knowing that you know what is best for them. Help me to surrender my career, my future, and my hopes, and knowing that you are the one who holds all things together. I release the need to control these aspects of my life and place them fully in your hands. I also pray, Father, that you would help me surrender my heart to your will each day. Help me to trust that you are working in every moment, even in the moments when I can't see it. Surrendering to you means trusting that your plans are far greater than anything I could envision for myself. Help me to walk in that trust today and every day, knowing that when I surrender to you, I am embracing the fullness of your love and your purpose for my life. Father, as I sit here this morning, reflecting on everything you have shown me so far, I am reminded once again of the deeper truths about surrender and trust. In the previous chapters, we have journeyed together through the lessons of waiting, of surrendering control, and of trusting in your perfect timing. Today, Father, I am being called to reflect on something even deeper. Your sovereignty. Surrender, trust, and waiting are all part of the process, but embracing your sovereignty is where I find peace in the midst of it all. It is in this recognition that you are in control of all things that I can finally let go of my anxieties, my plans, and my fears. The truth is, Father, when I surrender to your sovereignty, I am not just letting go of my control. I am letting go of the illusion of control. I am choosing to trust that you are not only aware of my situation, but that you are in control of it. I am trusting that you have the power, the wisdom, and the love to handle every part of my life. Your sovereignty, Father, means that you are the ultimate authority in all things. You created the heavens and the earth, and you hold every moment in the palm of your hand. There is nothing that happens outside of your will, no detail too small or too great for your perfect plan. In my human perspective, I may feel overwhelmed by the unknown, but in your divine perspective, you see the end from the beginning. You are the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and your plan for my life is perfect, even when I cannot understand it. Lord, I confess that sometimes I struggle to embrace your sovereignty fully. There are times when I want to take control of my life, to shape things according to my desires, and to force outcomes that align with my understanding of what is best. But every time I do this, I realize that I only create chaos and uncertainty. I cannot see what you see. Father, I cannot know what you know, and that is why it is so important for me to surrender to your sovereignty, to trust that you are the one who sees the bigger picture, and to allow you to guide me in ways I cannot yet comprehend. I remember the story of Job, Father, who lost everything: his wealth, his health, his family, and yet he still declared, "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." Job 1:21. Job did not understand why everything happened, but he understood your sovereignty. He knew that, no matter what, you were still in control. Job's faith in your sovereignty did not come from understanding, but from trust in who you are. Even in his suffering, he recognized that you were still the one in control, and that was enough for him. Father, I long to have that kind of faith. I long to trust you even when I do not understand the circumstances. I want to be able to look at my life, my struggles, and my uncertainties, and say with confidence, "The Lord is in control." I do not have to understand it all, but I trust that He does. I want to embrace your sovereignty with all of my heart, knowing that you are never surprised by what happens in my life. You are always working, always guiding, and always leading me toward your perfect purpose. Lord, I know that embracing your sovereignty means letting go of my desire to have everything figured out. It means trusting that you know what is best, even when it does not match my expectations. I may want things to happen in a certain way, but I know that your ways are higher than mine. Your plans are greater than mine. And so, I choose to trust in your perfect plan, knowing that even when things do not make sense, you are working everything out for my good. There are moments when the future feels uncertain. Father, when I do not know what lies ahead, when the path is unclear, and when fear tries to take hold, but in those moments, I want to remember your sovereignty. I want to remember that nothing is beyond your control. You are the one who makes a way. There seems to be no way. You are the one who opens doors that no man can shut, and you close doors that no man can open. I trust that the future you have for me is filled with hope, even if I cannot yet see it. Father, I also know that embracing your sovereignty means submitting to your will, even when it is difficult. I think about Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, when he prayed, "Not my will, but yours be done." Luke 22:42. Jesus, the Son of God, in his moment of greatest anguish, submitted to your will. He trusted in your sovereignty, knowing that the path you had set before him was the way to salvation. Father, help me to follow that example. Help me to submit to your will, even when it is difficult, even when it is painful, because I know that your plan is always for my good, even when I can see the whole picture. Lord, I also want to embrace your sovereignty in the everyday moments of my life. It is easy to trust you when the big decisions are at stake. But I want to trust you in the small moments, too. I want to remember that you are in control of all things, both big and small. Every step I take, every decision I make, you are guiding me, leading me, and shaping me into the person you want me to be. Father, today I choose to rest in your sovereignty. I choose to surrender my will to yours and trust that you are working everything for my good. I trust that you are in control of my life and that you are leading me exactly where I need to go, even when I cannot see the way. I trust that you are already there, preparing the way ahead of me. I choose to embrace your sovereignty, knowing that when I surrender to you, I am surrendering to a God who is greater than anything I can imagine. Father, as I sit here this morning, my heart is full of gratitude for all the lessons you have been teaching me. Each chapter of this journey has deepened my understanding of your ways. And today I find myself reflecting on something even more profound: your perfect timing. In the chapters before, I have surrendered, waited, and trusted in you. Now, I see that trusting in your sovereignty and embracing your plan also requires understanding the beauty and purpose in your timing. Father, I have often struggled with timing. In the past, I have been impatient, wanting everything to unfold according to my schedule. I have often found myself praying, asking for immediate answers, immediate results, believing that my timing was the best. But as you have shown me, your timing is always perfect. I realize now that your timing is not just a matter of waiting, but a matter of trusting that you know exactly when the right moment will come. It is in that moment that everything falls into place. Living in your perfect timing means letting go of my own expectations. It means releasing the need to control the how and when of my life and trusting that you are leading me on the path that you have designed for me. I am learning, Father, that true peace comes when I stop fighting against the clock, when I stop trying to force things to happen before their time. I now see that every delay, every pause, is part of your perfect plan. It is not that I am waiting in vain, it is that you are preparing me for what is to come. And I must learn to trust that in your time, all things will unfold according to your will. I think of the story of Sarah, Father, who waited so long for the child you had promised her. She had long since passed the age of childbearing, and she had lost hope of ever becoming a mother. Yet, in your perfect timing, you fulfilled your promise. At the exact moment you had planned, Sarah became pregnant with Isaac. In that moment, Father, Sarah learned that your timing is not bound by the limitations of this world. What seemed impossible for her was made possible through your perfect timing. In the same way, Father, I am learning that the things you have promised me will come to pass at the exact right time. It may not be the time I want. It may not be the time I expect, but I can trust that you are always working behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail for my good. You are not early. You are not late. You are always right on time. Father, I admit that there are moments when I become frustrated with the waiting, when the desire for answers becomes overwhelming. But you have shown me that it is not in the waiting that I lose hope, but in the impatience. I can choose to trust in your timing, to find peace in knowing that you are in control of the moments that shape my life. I have often mistaken waiting as a time of inactivity, but I now see that in the waiting, you are still working. You are preparing me, shaping me, and strengthening me for the blessings you have in store. There are times when I want to rush ahead, Father, when I feel like I am ready for the next step, but I understand now that rushing ahead of you only leads to confusion and frustration. You have a plan, and it is good. You have a purpose, and it is perfect. My job is not to hurry through this journey, but to trust that every step is being ordered by you. Even when I do not understand the path, even when I do not see the outcome, I choose to trust that you know the way. I am reminded of the story of David. Father, he was anointed to be king, yet he spent many years running from Saul, waiting for the right moment to step into the role you had promised him. During that time, David could have become discouraged. He could have taken matters into his own hands, but he chose to trust in your perfect timing. He waited patiently, knowing that you were preparing him to be the king you had called him to be. When the time came, David stepped into his role, and everything fell into place. Lord, I want to be like David. I want to trust that you are preparing me for what lies ahead. I may not know when it will happen. I may not know how it will happen, but I trust that you are at work. Your timing is not my timing, and I will trust that your plans are always for my good, even when I do not understand the waiting process. Father, I also see that living in your perfect timing means embracing the seasons you have placed me in. It is easy to look ahead and long for what is next, to desire what is coming, but you have shown me that each season is valuable. Each moment, each delay, each waiting period has purpose. I must not rush through these seasons, but learn to embrace them, knowing that in your time, you will bring about the change, the growth, and the blessings you have promised. In this moment, I choose to embrace your perfect timing. I choose to trust that you know when the right moment will come. I choose to wait with hope, knowing that you are preparing me for something greater than I could ever imagine. I surrender my timeline to you, Father, and I trust that your plan is always good, always perfect. Father, I pray for the grace to wait with patience, to trust in your timing, and to rest in the knowledge that you are always at work in my life. Help me to release my need to control the timing of things and trust that you are leading me on the perfect path. I know that your timing is never early, never late, but always exactly as it should be. As I move forward, I will hold on to the hope that you are working all things together for my good, and that in your perfect timing, everything will fall into place. Father, as I reflect on all you have shown me so far, I come before you with a heart that feels both full and yet, at times, weary. I have learned so much about surrender, trust, and patience. I have come to understand the importance of waiting and trusting in your perfect timing. But today, Father, I realize that waiting also requires courage. It is not enough to simply wait. It is about waiting with purpose, with hope, and with an open heart. Waiting can be difficult, especially when the future seems uncertain, when I do not know what is ahead or how long the waiting will last. But in this moment, I am learning that true courage comes not from having all the answers or knowing what is coming next, but from trusting that you are in control, even when I feel vulnerable and unsure. Waiting often feels like standing on the edge of a great unknown, looking out at a horizon that I cannot fully see. There are moments when I grow impatient, when doubt creeps in, and when I question whether it is worth it to keep waiting. But, Father, it is in these very moments that I need courage the most. Courage to hold fast to the promises you have given me. Courage to trust that you are at work, even when it feels like nothing is changing. Courage to stay in the process, knowing that your timing is not my timing, but it is always perfect. I think about the Israelites, Father, as they stood at the edge of the promised land, waiting for your command to enter. They had spent 40 years in the wilderness, waiting, and now they stood on the precipice of the promise. And yet, even in the face of the promise, there was fear. There were giants in the land, obstacles that seemed insurmountable. But you told them, "Do not be afraid. Go in and take possession of the land that I am giving you." Deuteronomy 1:21. It was in that moment, Father, that courage was required, courage to take the step forward, to trust that you would fight for them, to step into the unknown with faith in your power and in my own life. Father, I see that the waiting often requires the same kind of courage. The courage to step forward, even when I cannot see what is ahead. The courage to trust that you are with me, even when I feel uncertain or afraid. The courage to wait, and knowing that there is purpose in this season, even if it is not immediately clear. It is not always easy to trust when the way forward is unclear. But I know that you are asking me to move forward in faith, even when I do not have all the answers. Father, I think about the courage of the women in Scripture who waited in faith. Sarah waited for the promise of a child, even when it seemed impossible. Ruth waited for your provision and guidance, trusting that you would lead her. Esther waited for the right moment to approach the king, to take the risk that could save her people. These women exemplified the courage that comes with waiting, not passive waiting, but an active, hopeful trust in your goodness and your timing. Lord, help me to have that kind of courage. Help me to wait with hope, with expectation, knowing that you are always at work behind the scenes, preparing me for what is ahead. Lord, I also realize that waiting requires courage because it requires me to confront my own fears. It requires me to face the unknown and choose to trust you. Even when I feel anxious or uncertain, fear tells me to rush, to act now, to control the situation. But faith, Father, calls me to wait, to trust, and to rest in your timing. Help me, Lord, to face my fears and to move forward with courage. And knowing that you are with me, guiding me every step of the way when I feel afraid or uncertain. Remind me, Father, that I am not alone. Remind me that you are the one who goes before me, the one who fights for me, the one who makes a way when there seems to be no way, when fear tries to overwhelm me. I pray that you would give me the strength to stand firm, to wait in faith, and to trust that your promises will come to pass at the right time. Father, I pray for the courage to keep waiting, even when the waiting feels long or the answers seem delayed. I pray for the strength to remain steadfast in my faith, trusting that you are with me every step of the way. Help me to remember that waiting is not a sign of inactivity, but a time of preparation. You are working in me, shaping me, and preparing me for what is ahead. I do not need to rush the process, Lord. I need to wait with courage, knowing that you are using this time to refine me and build my trust in you. I also pray, Lord, for the courage to let go of my own expectations. It is easy to become discouraged when things do not go according to plan, when the timeline I have created does not match yours. But I know, Father, that your plan is always better than mine. Help me to trust that even when things do not go as I expect, you are still in control. Give me the courage to release my need for certainty and to trust that you are working all things together for my good. Father, today I choose to embrace the courage that comes from waiting on you. I choose to wait with hope, with faith, and with trust in your perfect timing. I pray that you would strengthen my heart and my mind, and give me the courage to continue walking forward, even when the path is uncertain. I know that you are with me, and that you are leading me to something beautiful. Help me to stay strong in my trust, to continue waiting with patience, and to walk forward in courage. Father, as I sit before you today, I find myself reflecting on the journey we have walked together so far. Each lesson has drawn me deeper into the truth of your presence in my life. I have learned to surrender, trust, wait, and embrace your perfect timing. But there is still something, Lord, that I feel you inviting me to understand more fully. Living in the present moment, I have often found myself either looking ahead to what is coming or dwelling on what has already passed. My mind races toward future goals, next steps, and the desires I long to see fulfilled, while my heart sometimes lingers in the past, recalling missed opportunities or moments of regret. It is easy, Father, to get lost in both the what-ifs and the if-onlys of life. But in doing so, I miss the beauty of the here and now, the gift of this moment. This breath, this life you have given me. You have shown me, Lord, that living fully in the present does not mean ignoring the past or neglecting the future. It means finding peace and purpose in the moment, trusting that you are with me here and now. It means letting go of the distractions of worry and regret, and focusing my heart on the gifts you have given me in this very moment. I think of the words of Jesus in Matthew 6:34. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Father, I realize that worry about the future steals my ability to live fully in the present. It robs me of peace and keeps me focused on things I cannot control. I know that you are already at work in the future, just as you are with me in the present. So today, I choose to surrender my worry about what is to come and focus on being present with you right now. There are moments, Father, when I have been so consumed with plans and dreams for the future that I forget to pause and appreciate the blessings right in front of me. I miss the small joys, the laughter of loved ones, the beauty of nature, the simple pleasure of a quiet morning. In the rush of life, I have often overlooked these moments, thinking that happiness will come when I achieve the next thing, when I get to the next phase of life. But I am learning, Father, that joy is not found in the future or the past. It is found in the present, in the here and now, in the moments you have given me today. Lord, help me to recognize the beauty of the present. Help me to slow down and savor the moments that make up my day. Help me to see you in the small things, the smile of a friend, the warmth of the sun, the sound of a bird singing in the morning. These moments, though seemingly insignificant, are gifts from you, and I want to be fully present to them. I also realize that being present means being fully engaged in my relationship with you. So often, I rush through my time with you, Father, thinking of all the things I need to do, all the prayers I need to say, all the tasks I need to accomplish. But in doing so, I miss the opportunity to truly connect with you. I miss the chance to listen, to be still, and to receive the peace and wisdom you have for me in the moment. I pray that you would help me to slow down in my time with you, and to truly be present in your presence. Help me to listen for your voice, to feel your guidance, and to experience the fullness of your love in every moment. I think of the example of Jesus, Father, and how he was always fully present with those around him. He was not distracted by the future or weighed down by the past. He gave his full attention to the people he encountered in each moment. When the blind man called out to him, Jesus did not hurry past. He stopped. He listened, and he healed. When the woman touched his cloak, he did not brush her off. He stopped. He acknowledged her faith, and he healed her. Jesus showed me that being fully present with others is an act of love and compassion. Lord, I want to be more like Jesus in this way. I want to be fully present with the people around me, to listen, to care, and to be a source of love and light to them in each moment. Father, I also realize that living fully in the present means embracing the life you have given me right now, rather than constantly striving for something else. It is so easy to look at others and feel like I am falling behind, like I am not measuring up, like I am not where I should be. But today, I choose to embrace my own journey. I choose to accept where I am, to appreciate the progress I have made, and to trust that you are leading me exactly where I need to be. I do not need to compare my life to others. I do not need to chase after someone else's version of success. I need to live the life you have given me with purpose and gratitude. Lord, Help me to be present in my relationships. Help me to listen fully to the people in my life, to love them with my whole heart, and to appreciate the time I have with them. So often, I am distracted, thinking about what is next or what is wrong, instead of simply being with the ones I love. Help me to give them my full attention, to be present in the moment, and to cherish the time we have together. And, Father, I ask for your help in making this a habit. It is easy to slip back into old ways of thinking, to be distracted by the business of life, to rush through each day without stopping to truly live in it. But I want to be different. I want to cultivate a life that is fully present, that is deeply engaged with you and with the people around me. I pray that you would help me to slow down, to appreciate the beauty of each day, and to live with intention and purpose. In this moment, I choose to be present with you. I choose to release the worries of the past and the future, and to focus on this day, on this moment. I know that you are here, right now, and that is enough. Father, as I sit before you this morning, my heart is full of both gratitude and reflection. I have come so far on this journey with you. Father, the lessons on waiting, surrender, and trusting in your perfect timing have shaped me in ways I never imagined. But even as I continue to grow, I am still learning a vital lesson: trusting the process. There are times when I wish I could skip over the hard parts, when I long to rush ahead to the place where everything makes sense, where the answers are clear and the results are tangible. But in these moments, you gently remind me that the process is just as important as the destination. It is easy to focus on the end goal, to look ahead and fixate on what I want to achieve. But you have been showing me that the real growth happens in the process. Father, the process of becoming who you have called me to be is not always smooth or easy. There are moments of uncertainty, challenges that make me question my path, and times when I feel like I am not moving fast enough. But through it all, I am learning that this process is not something to rush through. It is a journey of transformation, one that requires patience, perseverance, and trust in your wisdom. The process, Lord, is often messy. It is not always neat and orderly, and it does not always follow the timeline I have in mind. But as I reflect on the seasons of growth in my life, I see that it is precisely in these messy, uncertain moments that you do your most important work. It is in the waiting, the challenges, and the moments of struggle that you refine my character, deepen my faith, and prepare me for the blessings that lie ahead. I think of the process of the potter shaping the clay. It is not a quick or simple task. The potter must mold, shape, and even break the clay to create something beautiful. But the end result is worth the process. Lord, you are the potter, and I am the clay. I understand now that the shaping, the molding, and even the breaking are all part of your divine design. Each moment, each challenge is an opportunity for you to shape me into who you have created me to be. Lord, I confess that at times I resist the process. There are days when I want to skip ahead, when I want to fast forward through the discomfort. and move straight to the outcome. But I know now that the process is where I learn the most. It is where I discover who I really am, where I find the strength to overcome, and where I grow in my relationship with you. I may not always understand the challenges or the delays, but I am learning to trust that you are working through every step of the process. In your word, we see so many examples of people who had to trust the process. Abraham had to wait for the promised child, even when it seemed impossible. Moses had to endure years of hardship before leading the Israelites out of Egypt. Joseph had to go through betrayal, slavery, and imprisonment before he saw the fulfillment of his dreams. Each of these men went through a process, and each one learned that trusting the process meant trusting in you. Father, I want to have that same faith. I want to trust that the challenges, the waiting, and the obstacles I face are all part of your greater plan. Lord, I know that trusting the process requires patience. It requires me to let go of my need for control and to rest in the knowledge that you are in control of every step of the journey. I do not need to know exactly where I am going or when I will get there. All I need to do is take the next step, trusting that you will guide me. I pray that you would help me to be patient with the process, to trust that you are working even when I can't see it. Help me to stop rushing ahead and to trust that, in your time, you will bring about the fruit of my labor. I also realize, Father, that trusting the process means embracing the unknown. It means walking in faith even when I can't see what lies ahead. It means trusting that you have a purpose in every season, even when I do not understand it. There are moments when I feel uncertain, when I wonder if I am on the right path, but I choose to trust that you are leading me exactly where I need to go. Even in the darkness, I know that you are the light guiding my way. Father, I pray for the strength to trust the process. When the way is unclear, when the road is long, and when I feel like I am not making progress, help me to keep moving forward. Remind me that it is in the small steps, the quiet moments of obedience, that you are at work. I pray that you would strengthen my faith as I continue to trust you, knowing that the process is just as important as the destination. Help me to rest in your perfect timing, and knowing that you will bring about the results you have planned for me, in your time and in your way. Lord, I also want to trust the process in my relationships, in my career, and in every area of my life. I recognize that the path to growth and fulfillment often takes time. It is not a straight line, but a journey with its twists and turns, its challenges and breakthroughs. But I trust that you are working in each moment, shaping me and preparing me for what lies ahead. I will trust that the delays, the setbacks, and the challenges are not signs of failure, but part of your perfect process. Father, I choose to trust the process of becoming the person you have called me to be. I choose to trust the process of learning, growing, and transforming, even when it feels difficult. Even when I do not understand the journey, I will trust that you are with me, guiding me every step of the way. I will wait with patience, knowing that you are at work in me, shaping me into something beautiful. Father, as I sit in your presence this morning, I am reminded of all that you have been teaching me over these past chapters. We have walked through the beauty of surrender, the strength in trusting your timing, and the power found in embracing each moment of waiting. But today, Father, I find myself thinking about something deeper, something that ties all these lessons together. It is the journey itself. So often in life, I find myself fixated on the destination. I look ahead and picture the end goal, the outcome I desire, and I forget to fully appreciate the journey that you have me on right now. I am beginning to see that the journey is just as important as the destination. The path you have set before me is not something to rush through or try to bypass, but something to embrace fully, knowing that it is in the journey that you do your most transformative work. Father, I confess that there have been times when I have been so focused on the future, on the end result, that I have missed the blessings and lessons in the present. I have been in such a hurry to get to the place where I think I will be content, where everything will fall into place, that I have failed to see how much growth, joy, and peace there is in the here and now. But as I sit with you today, I am learning that is the journey that shapes me, not just the destination. Every step I take, every moment of waiting, every challenge I face is part of the process you have designed to mold me into who you want me to be. I think about the Israelites, Father, as they wandered through the desert on their way to the promised land. They had a clear destination in mind. Yet the journey took much longer than they expected. What is more, the journey was not easy. There were times of hunger, fear, and uncertainty. But through it all, you were shaping them, teaching them to trust, to rely on you, and to grow in their faith. The destination was important, but the journey was what prepared them for the promise. They could not have reached the land of abundance without first walking through the desert of struggle and dependence on you. Lord, I realize that the same is true in my life. The destination I desire, the place where I feel fulfilled, where my dreams come true, where everything falls into place is important. But it is the journey that I need to embrace. For it is in the journey that you prepare me, refine me, and shape me into the person you have called me to be. I do not want to rush through this season. Father, I do not want to miss the moments of growth, the lessons, and the blessings that you have placed along the way. Help me to slow down, to take each step with intention, and to savor the process as much as I long for the outcome. Father, I think about Jesus, who walked a journey of pain, sacrifice, and love to fulfill your plan of redemption. He did not just rush through life to get to the end result. He lived each moment with purpose, fully present with those he encountered, fully invested in the work you had given him. Even when the path led to the cross, he embraced it with love and surrender. In his journey, he showed us the beauty of living fully in the moment, trusting that each step, even the painful ones, was part of your perfect plan. Lord, I want to live like Jesus did, fully present in each moment, trusting that every step I take is part of your greater plan. Even when the road is difficult or unclear, help me to embrace the journey, knowing that it is in the journey that you do the most profound work in me. I want to find joy in the process, not just in the outcome. I want to embrace each day with gratitude, knowing that every day, every step is a gift from you. Father, I also recognize that embracing the journey means accepting the seasons of life that you have me in right now. It is easy to look ahead and wish for what is next, but I know that each season has purpose. Even the seasons that feel like waiting or uncertainty have meaning. In those moments, you are preparing me for what is to come. I do not want to rush through these seasons. Father, help me to embrace where you have me right now, knowing that this is exactly where I need to be in your perfect plan. Lord, I ask that you help me to live in the present moment. When I get caught up in the desire to move forward, to achieve, to get there, remind me that the process is where you do your most transformative work. Give me the strength to remain faithful in the journey, to trust in your timing, and to embrace each step with open hands. I want to be fully present in each moment, not just waiting for the next stage of life to arrive. Father, help me to stop wishing for a different path, a different season, or a different outcome. Help me to see that your plan for me is unfolding exactly as it should. Even in the moments when it is hard to see, help me to trust that you are guiding me, shaping me, and preparing me for the next step. I want to fully embrace this journey, knowing that every experience, every challenge, and every moment of waiting is part of your beautiful plan for my life. Today, Father, I choose to embrace the journey. I choose to trust in the process. I choose to live fully in this moment, knowing that you are with me every step of the way. I do not need to rush ahead. Father, I do not need to have all the answers. I just need to trust that you are with me, leading me, and shaping me into the person you have called me to be. Dear Heavenly Father, as I sit here in the quiet of the morning, reflecting on all you have shown me, I am filled with a deep sense of peace. This journey of surrender, trust, waiting, and embracing your perfect timing has not been easy, but it has brought me closer to understanding your heart for me. Today, Father, I am drawn to think about the peace that you offer, peace that transcends all understanding, peace that guards my heart and mind, even in the midst of life's chaos. In the previous chapters, I have learned that the process of growth, waiting, and trusting in your timing often feels uncertain, but I am realizing, Father, that this peace, the peace you offer, is not dependent on circumstances. It is not contingent on how I feel in a given moment, or on how quickly I receive the answers I seek. Your peace is something far deeper, a peace that is rooted in the knowledge that you are in control, that you are with me every step of the way, and that you are working all things for my good. I think about the words of Jesus in John 14:27 when he said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." Father, your peace is not the same as the peace the world offers. The world offers peace based on circumstances, on things being calm. predictable, and in control. But your peace transcends those things. Your peace does not rely on the absence of chaos, but on the presence of your love and your presence with me, no matter what I face. Lord, I confess that there are times when I allow the chaos of life to steal my peace. When the demands of the day seem overwhelming, when the unknowns feel too heavy, it is easy to get anxious, to worry, to feel restless. But in those moments, Father, I am reminded that peace is not something I can create on my own. It is not something I can manufacture through my own efforts or control. Peace comes from trusting in you, from resting in your sovereignty, and from knowing that you are in control even when life feels out of control. I think about how often in the Gospels, when the disciples were afraid, Jesus would speak peace into their lives. When they were caught in the storm on the boat, he spoke to the winds and the waves, "Peace, be still." And when he appeared to them after his resurrection, he greeted them with the words, "Peace be with you," in every instance. Father, Jesus spoke peace over their fear and uncertainty, and I know that you are offering the same peace to me today. Father, I long for that peace. I long to experience the peace that only you can give, the peace that calms my anxious heart and stills my restless mind. But I also know, Lord, that this peace comes when I fully surrender to you, when I let go of my need to control and trust that you are in charge. It comes when I choose to rest in the assurance that you are with me, even in the storm. I also realize, Father, that this peace is not something I can experience if I am constantly looking for peace in the wrong places. It is easy to turn to distractions, work, relationships, entertainment, or other things to try to find peace. But I have learned that true peace comes only from you. It is a peace that does not rely on external circumstances, but on the internal assurance that you are always with me. You are the source of peace, and as I draw near to you, I experience that peace in my soul. Lord, I pray that you would help me to walk in your peace every day. I want to live in the peace that only you can provide, a peace that is not fleeting or temporary but eternal. I do not want to let life's uncertainties steal my peace. I do not want to be shaken by circumstances or driven by fear. I want to walk in the calm assurance that you are my refuge, my strength, and my peace. In Philippians 4:6-7, your word tells me, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Father, I realize that your peace comes when I bring my worries and anxieties to you, when I lay them at your feet and trust that you will carry them. It is in this act of surrender, when I let go and trust in your provision, that your peace fills my heart. I also know, Father, that walking in your peace requires me to release my fear of the unknown. There are times when I am paralyzed by what might happen, by the uncertainty of the future. I wonder if I will have what I need, if I will make the right decisions, if things will work out. But in those moments, I hear you whisper, My peace is with you. Lord, I want to trust in your peace, knowing that you are already ahead of me, guiding me and preparing the way. I do not need to have all the answers, because you are the answer. You are the one who provides peace in every moment, even in the unknown. Father, I pray for your peace to fill my heart today. I pray that you would help me to rest in your presence, to let go of my worries, and to trust in your perfect timing and your perfect plan. Help me to surrender my need to control, to find peace in knowing that you are always with me, guiding me through every challenge. I choose to rest in your peace today, knowing that with you, I have everything I need. In your peace, I find my strength, my calm, and my assurance. Help me to walk in that peace each day, trusting that you are always with me, guiding me and loving me through every moment. As I face the uncertainties and challenges of today, I choose to hold on to your peace, knowing that it is the greatest gift I can receive. Father, as I sit before you today, my heart is both filled with gratitude and longing. I have come so far in my journey of surrender, trust, and waiting. But now, I feel you calling me to a deeper understanding. You have taught me to trust in your perfect timing, to embrace your peace, and to be present in the moment. But now, Father, I realize that all these lessons lead to one important purpose, living my life with intention and purpose. In the midst of the lessons I have learned, I find myself reflecting on what it truly means to live with purpose. It is so easy, Father, to get caught up in the rush of life, to go through the motions, to get busy with tasks and responsibilities, without taking a step back and truly asking myself, what is the purpose of all this? It is in the quiet moments with you that I am reminded that my life is not meant to be a series of random events or distractions. You have called me to something greater, a life of purpose, a life that is intentional and meaningful, a life that reflects your love and glory in everything I do. Father, I want to live my life with purpose, not just as a passive observer, but as an active participant in the plans you have for me. I do not want to get caught up in the business of this world, rushing from one task to the next, losing sight of what truly matters. I want to live intentionally, focusing on what you have called me to do and aligning my heart with your will. This is not just about accomplishing goals or checking off tasks. It is about living with a sense of purpose that comes from knowing I am doing what you have called me to do, that I am being who you have created me to be. I think about the words of Jesus in John 15:16, when he said, "You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit that will last." Father, these words remind me that my life is not my own. You have chosen me, and you have appointed me for a purpose. You have called me to bear fruit, to live a life that impacts others and brings glory to you. I do not want to live aimlessly. Father, I want to live with intention, with a sense of direction that comes from you. Lord, I realize that living with purpose is not always easy. It is easy to get distracted, to follow the paths that the world tells me are important. But your word reminds me that your purpose for my life is greater than anything the world can offer. Living with purpose means aligning my priorities with your will, seeking first your kingdom, and trusting that you will guide me in everything I do. It means living each day with a sense of mission, knowing that every moment, every decision is an opportunity to fulfill the purpose you have placed in my heart. Father, I pray that you would open my eyes to the purpose you have for my life. I want to see beyond the surface of my daily tasks and responsibilities and understand how you are working through them to fulfill your greater plan. Help me to see the opportunities for purpose in every interaction, every decision, and every challenge. Help me to live each day with the intention of honoring you, whether I am at work, at home, or with friends. I want my life to reflect your love, your grace, and your truth in everything I do. Lord, I also recognize that living with purpose means trusting you in the uncertainty. There are times when the path ahead seems unclear, when I do not know exactly where you are leading me or what the next step will be. But even in those moments, I can trust that you are guiding me. I may not see the full picture, but I know that you are working out all things for my good. Trusting in your purpose means knowing that even when the way forward is uncertain, I can still walk with confidence, and knowing that you are with me every step of the way. Father, help me to trust in your timing. Living with purpose means trusting that you are orchestrating every detail of my life, even the parts that do not make sense in the moment. There are times when I feel impatient, when I want to rush ahead and make things happen on my own. But I know that your purpose is bigger than my plans. I trust that you are unfolding your will for my life at just the right time. And I pray for the patience to wait on you and the faith to trust in your perfect plan. I also realize that living with purpose means living with a heart that is fully surrendered to you. It means giving you control over my desires, my dreams, and my plans. I want to live my life in a way that honors you. Father, I want my purpose to be aligned with your will, and I know that means surrendering my own will to you. It is not always easy, but I trust that your purpose for me is far greater than anything I could imagine for myself. Father, I pray that you would continue to guide me as I seek to live with purpose. Help me to stay focused on what truly matters, to prioritize the things that bring you glory, and to live each day with intention. I want to live a life that is meaningful, a life that makes a difference in the lives of others, a life that reflects your love and grace. I choose to walk in the purpose you have called me to, trusting that you will equip me, guide me, and lead me every step of the way. I want to live intentionally, with a heart that is fully surrendered to your will. Thank you for the purpose you have placed in my life, and help me to walk in it with faith, courage, and obedience. Father, as I sit here this morning, I can help but reflect on the journey we have been walking together. The lessons you have shown me surrender, trust, peace, purpose have all shaped my heart and mind in ways I never expected. But today, Father, I feel your invitation to step deeper into something truly transformative. living with gratitude in every moment. Gratitude, Father, is not always easy to cultivate. It is easy to feel thankful when things are going well, when everything is falling into place, and when life feels comfortable. But you have been teaching me, Lord, that true gratitude is not circumstantial. It does not depend on what is happening around me or how I am feeling in the moment. True gratitude is a choice, a mindset, a way of living that transcends the highs and lows of life. In the previous chapters, I have learned to trust in your timing and embrace your sovereignty. But now, Father, I see that gratitude is the natural response to those truths. When I truly understand that you are in control, that you are working all things for my good, and that you are present in every moment, I cannot help but be filled with gratitude. Gratitude flows from a heart that knows it is loved, that knows it is cared for, and that knows you are always with me, guiding me and providing for me. Lord, I have come to realize that gratitude is not just a feeling. It is a perspective. It is about choosing to see the blessings in every situation, even when it is hard, even in the midst of challenges, uncertainty, or waiting. I can choose to be thankful for what you are doing in me, for what you are teaching me, and for the strength you give me to endure. Gratitude is about acknowledging that, no matter what, you are good, and you are faithful. I think about the story of Paul, Father, who, despite facing imprisonment, hardship, and persecution, chose to write to the churches with words of thanksgiving and joy. He thanked you for the believers he encountered, for the work you were doing through them, and for the strength you gave him in his trials. Even when circumstances were difficult, he maintained a heart of gratitude. He knew that you were always at work, and that gave him the ability to rejoice in all things. Father, I want to be like Paul. I want to have a heart that is always filled with gratitude, not because everything is perfect, but because I know that you are with me through everything. I want to see the blessings in every moment, the lessons in every trial, and the goodness of your hand in every season. Gratitude, Father, is a choice, and I want to choose it each day, no matter what I am facing. I also recognize, Lord, that gratitude is a powerful antidote to anxiety and fear. So often, when I feel overwhelmed by the unknown or consumed by worries about the future, I forget to pause and reflect on what you have already done in my life. But in those moments, Father, I want to take a step back and count my blessings. I want to remember all the ways you have been faithful to me, how you have carried me through difficult times, and how you have provided for me in ways I could not have imagined. Gratitude shifts my focus from the things that cause anxiety to the many ways you have shown up in my life. Father, help me to cultivate a heart of gratitude every day. I pray that you would open my eyes to see the blessings that surround me, both big and small. Help me to recognize your hand in every moment, to notice the ways you are working in my life and in the lives of those around me. Help me to be present in the moment, to savor the goodness of today, and to be thankful for the opportunities I have right now. I also want to express my gratitude for the people you have placed in my life. Lord, I thank you for my family, my friends, and the community that supports me. I thank you for the love and encouragement I receive from those around me. Help me to never take them for granted, but to show my appreciation by being a blessing to them in return. May I always be quick to express my gratitude, not just for what people do for me, but for who they are. Gratitude, Father, also means recognizing that everything I have is a gift from you. There are times when I have taken my blessings for granted, when I have looked at what I do not have instead of what I do. But today, I want to pause and give thanks for everything you have provided: the roof over my head, the food on my table, the health I enjoy, and the opportunities I have. Every good gift comes from you, and I want to live with a heart that is continually grateful for the blessings you have given me. Lord, I know that life will have its ups and downs, and there will be times when things do not go as planned. But I also know that no matter what happens, you are with me. You are faithful, and your love for me never changes. In every season, I can choose to be thankful, because you are the same yesterday, today, and forever. You are the source of every blessing, and I will give you thanks in all circumstances. Father, help me to live with gratitude in every moment. May I never lose sight of the blessings you have given me, and may my heart overflow with thanksgiving for your goodness. I pray that gratitude would become a natural part of my daily life, that I would see the world through the lens of thankfulness and find joy in every moment, knowing that you are at work in all things. Father, as I sit here this morning, still reflecting on the lessons you have been teaching me, I find myself struck by a truth that I have only begun to fully understand: the power of patience. In the chapters before, you have shown me how to surrender, trust in your perfect timing, and embrace the present moment. But now, Father, I realize that in every season, there is an essential ingredient that I must nurture in my heart: patience. I have spent so much of my life rushing through, always eager to reach the next phase, the next milestone, the next dream. In many ways, I have viewed patience as something to be endured, something to get through so that I can move on to what is next. But today, Lord, I see that patience is not merely about waiting. It is an active process, one that cultivates trust, perseverance, and inner peace. Patience is not passive. It is the ability to stay steady and faithful, even when the answers do not come as quickly as I would like, or when things do not unfold according to my timeline. Father, I think about the many instances in Scripture where patience was not just a virtue, but a key part of God's plan. I think of Abraham, who waited for years for the promise of a son, even when it seemed impossible. I think of Joseph, who endured years of betrayal and hardship before seeing the fulfillment of his dreams. I think of Job, who, despite his suffering, chose to trust you through it all. These examples show me that patience is not just about waiting for something to happen. It is about trusting in your timing, remaining faithful even when it feels like nothing is changing. These men of faith were not passive in their waiting. They were actively trusting, hoping, and enduring, knowing that you were with them every step of the way. Lord, as I think about these examples, I am reminded that patience is a key to spiritual growth. It is not just about enduring hardship. It is about learning to trust you more deeply, to surrender my own plans and desires, and to rest in the confidence that you are in control. Patience is not just something that happens in the waiting. Father, it is something that shapes my character, builds my faith, and strengthens my resolve to continue moving forward, even when the path is unclear. I admit, Father, that I struggle with patience. I am tempted to hurry things along, to push for results, to try and control the process. There are moments when I feel impatient, when I wonder why things are not moving faster, why the answers are not coming quicker, why I am still waiting. But in those moments, I know you are calling me to remember that you are working, even when I can see it. Patience means trusting that, in your perfect timing, you will bring about what you have promised, and it means trusting that the waiting itself is part of your plan. When I am tempted to rush ahead, Lord, help me to remember that your timing is always perfect. Help me to surrender my need for immediate answers and trust that you are guiding me exactly where I need to go. You are not slow in keeping your promises, as some understand slowness, but you are patient, wanting everyone to come to repentance. You work in ways I cannot always see, and I must trust that you know what is best for me, even when I do not understand the delay. Father, patience also teaches me humility. It teaches me to let go of my own agendas, my own timelines, and to surrender to your will. I realize that I cannot rush the process of becoming who you have called me to be. Spiritual growth is not an overnight thing. It is a gradual process that requires me to trust you in each step, even when the path ahead is long or unclear. Patience teaches me to trust in your guidance, to walk in your ways, and to wait for the fruits of your work in my life. I also think about how patience is woven into the very fabric of the Christian life. It is the ability to endure in hope, to remain steadfast in faith, even when it feels like the promises are delayed. In Romans 12:12, your word says, "Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer." Lord, I long to embody these virtues. I want to be joyful in the hope that you have given me, patient in the affliction that comes with waiting, and faithful in prayer, knowing that you hear me and that you will answer in your perfect time. I also realize, Father, that patience requires me to focus on what you are doing in me right now. So often, I am tempted to look ahead, to focus on the outcome. But I am learning that there is so much to learn in the waiting. There are lessons in the struggle, in the process, in the quiet moments of uncertainty. Patience teaches me to appreciate the journey, to grow in character, and to learn to rely on you in every circumstance. Father, I pray that you would continue to develop patience in my heart. Help me to wait with faith, to trust that you are at work, and to be steadfast in my hope. When impatience rises, remind me that you are in control, and that you will bring about what you have promised in your perfect time. Help me to embrace the process, knowing that every moment is part of your plan. Every step is shaping me into who you want me to be. Lord, I also pray that you would help me to be patient with others. So often, I am quick to judge, to expect things to happen in my time, and to grow frustrated with those around me when they do not meet my expectations. But you have shown me that patience is not just about waiting for my own needs to be met. It is about extending grace to others, about trusting that you are at work in their lives, just as you are at work in mine. Help me to be patient, kind, and loving, and knowing that everyone is on their own journey, and that you are leading them in your time, in this moment. Father, I choose to trust you in the waiting. I choose to embrace patience, knowing that you are working in me, and that your perfect timing will bring about what you have promised. I will wait with hope, with faith, and with trust in your goodness. Father, as I reflect on the many lessons you have been teaching me through this journey, I am struck by the simplicity and depth of one fundamental truth. You are the light that guides my path. In the previous chapters, I have learned to surrender, trust, wait, and embrace your perfect timing. But today, Father, I am feeling the call to focus on something even more profound, walking in your light. Lord, you have shown me the importance of trusting in your timing and surrendering to your will. Yet I realize now that your light is the constant that illuminates every step of the journey. Without your light, I would be lost, wandering in the darkness of uncertainty, confusion, and fear. But with you, I have direction. With you, I can move forward in confidence, knowing that you are the one leading me, guiding me through every season of life. I think of the words of Jesus in John 8:12, where he says, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. These words, Father, are a beacon of hope. They remind me that when I follow you, I will not walk in darkness, no matter how uncertain the road may seem. You are the light that shows me the way. You are the one who guides me when I do not know where to go, and you provide clarity when everything around me feels unclear. Father, I have come to realize that walking in your light is not just about having answers or knowing the way ahead. It is about trusting you every step of the way, and knowing that you are with me, illuminating the path even when I cannot see the full picture. Your light is not just a guide. It is a source of peace, hope, and strength. When I walk in your light, I am reminded that I am not alone. Even when I cannot see the outcome, I can trust that you are guiding me, that your light will lead me through in my life. Father, there have been times when I have walked in darkness, times when I felt uncertain, afraid, or lost. In those moments, I realize now that it was not because you had abandoned me, but because I had lost sight of your light. I had become distracted by my fears, by my circumstances, or by my own doubts. But even in those dark moments, you were still with me, still shining your light, waiting for me to turn back to you. I think about the story of the prodigal son. Father, the son wandered away, chasing after his own desires and getting lost in the darkness of the world. But when he came to his senses and returned home, you were there with open arms, ready to welcome him back into your light. You did not condemn him or reject him. You embraced him, showing him that your light was always available, that your love was always there, waiting for him to come back. Father, in the same way, I know that even when I stray from your light, you are always there, ready to bring me back to you. I am never too far gone for your light to reach me. Your light shines in the darkest of places, and no matter how far I wander, your love is always there, beckoning me back to the warmth and peace of your presence. Lord, I want to walk in your light every day. I want to live my life in a way that reflects your light to others. In Matthew 5:14-16, you call us to be the light of the world, a city on a hill that cannot be hidden. Father, I pray that you would help me to be that light to those around me. I want my life to shine with your love, your grace, and your truth. Help me to reflect your light in my words, my actions, and my relationships, so that others can see you in me. I also realize, Father, that walking in your light means walking in truth. The light you give is not just about guidance, but about clarity and honesty. When I walk in your light, I am walking in the truth of who you are and who you have created me to be. You are the source of all truth, and your light reveals the truth in every situation. Father, I want to live my life in alignment with your truth, not the fleeting truths of this world, but the eternal truth that comes from you. Help me to live with integrity, with honesty, and with a heart that seeks your truth above all else. Walking in your light, Father, also means walking with confidence and courage. When I know that you are with me, when I trust that you are the one lighting my path, I can step forward without fear. I do not need to be afraid of the unknown or the challenges that lie ahead, because I know that you are leading me. Your light is my strength, and it is in your light that I find my courage to keep moving forward, even when the road seems uncertain. Father, I pray that your light would shine brighter and brighter in my life each day. Help me to walk in your light with confidence, with peace, and with hope. Let your light guide me in all things, and help me to be a reflection of your light to the world. I surrender my fears, my doubts, and my worries to you, and knowing that your light will show me the way. When I feel lost or uncertain, remind me to turn to you, to seek your light, and to trust that you are guiding me. Your light will never fail me. It will always lead me toward hope, toward peace, and toward your perfect will. Help me to trust in your light more deeply, and knowing that in your presence there is no darkness. Father, as I stand here in your presence, reflecting on the journey that has brought me to this moment, I feel a deep sense of peace and gratitude. The lessons you have shown me throughout this time have transformed my heart and mind, and I find myself filled with a renewed sense of purpose and understanding. The path has not always been easy, but through every challenge, every moment of surrender, and every step of trust, I have come to know you more intimately and to rely on you more fully. From the beginning, you have been guiding me, teaching me how to surrender my will, trust in your timing, and walk in the light of your presence. Each chapter, each lesson has been a stepping stone, bringing me closer to a deeper understanding of who you are and who you have called me to be. The journey has been rich with both challenges and blessings, and I see now that every experience, every moment of waiting, every trial has been a part of your perfect plan to shape me. I want to thank you, Father, for walking with me every step of the way. Even when I was uncertain, even when I doubted, you were there, quietly leading, gently guiding, and always reassuring me that you were in control. I have learned to trust in your perfect timing, to embrace the process, and to find peace in the moments of waiting. Each lesson has brought me closer to a place of surrender, where I can let go of my need to control and rest in your perfect plan. I have learned to live with gratitude, to see the blessings in every moment, even the hard ones. You have shown me that true peace and joy come not from the circumstances around me, from knowing that you are always with me, that you are faithful, and that you are working all things together for my good. I now understand that the journey is just as important as the destination, that the lessons along the way are the things that truly shape me and prepare me for what lies ahead. Father, I also realize that the journey does not end here. This is not the end of my walk with you, but the beginning of a new chapter. As I move forward, I carry with me the lessons I have learned, the trust I have built, and the peace that comes from knowing that you are always with me. The road ahead may not always be clear, and there will be moments when I will have to face uncertainty, but I know that I am never alone. You will continue to guide me, to lead me, and to walk beside me every step of the way. And so, as I stand here now, looking ahead, I feel a gentle breeze on my face, the soft wind of your spirit whispering in my heart. It is as if you are breathing life into the next chapter, filling me with the strength and courage to continue. I feel a sense of calm, like the first light of dawn breaking over the horizon, a reminder that you are always there, ready to lead me into the next day, into the next phase of this journey. The road ahead may be long, Father, but I trust that you are with me, just as you have been every step of the way. Your light will continue to guide me, your love will continue to sustain me, and your presence will continue to fill me with peace. There is no end to this journey with you, for you are eternal, and you are always with me, every moment of every day. Thank you for being with me through this time, for walking beside me, for teaching me, and for loving me with an everlasting love. I look ahead with hope, knowing that this is not the end, but a new beginning, a beginning where I continue to walk in your grace, with a heart full of faith, trust, and gratitude. The journey of growth, faith, and surrender continues, just as the morning light never truly fades, but constantly renews itself with every new day. Father, I walk forward, knowing that with each step, your light will illuminate my path and your presence will always be with me. I am not alone, and I am filled with hope for all that is yet to come. As you continue on your own journey, I invite you to share your thoughts, your prayers, and your reflections below. Let us walk this path together, strengthening one another in faith. And if this message has spoken to your heart, I invite you to share it with others. Invite them to join us in continuing to trust, grow, and walk in faith every single day. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and share this message. As we journey together through the ups and downs, growing in trust and faith every step of the way, let us keep moving forward, knowing that His light will guide us and His love will sustain us.